Hello, my name is Fox and you're watching Den of Fools. Let's jump right in.
In week 47 of 2024, we had 156 tournaments, with a total of 3,150 players and 12,640 games played. This is the biggest period since the latest update, with a massive number of games played for a single week. As I'm sure many of you know, these results contain the 268-player Warhammer World Championships. As with last week, the large number of tournaments does give a lot of factions the opportunity to get a win. With that said, this week the Space Marines topped the charts with 23 wins, 73 top 3s, and a weight base of 22.4, which is marginally better than the 24 they got last time. As usual, we will provide a full breakdown of the chapters, including those with their own supplements, in our chapter breakdown later on in the video. The Astra Militarum remain in second place, with 15 wins, 31 top 3s, and a weight base of 13.4. This is very slightly worse than the 14.3 they got last week, but is still an impressive score. They certainly are doing very well with specific strong lists, and will continue to do so at least until the next balance update, which isn't too far away. The Tower get third with 11 wins, 24 top 3s, and the same weighted placing with 13.4. This is a big improvement for them, as they managed 7 wins and a weighted base of 18.3 last time. The Custodies come next, also getting 11 wins, with 22 top 3s and a weighted placing of 9.5, which is the best this week. Folger Piles managed to win the Warhammer World Championship with Custodies, which certainly helped the score this week. His list was led by 3 Blade Champions, with some Custodian Guards and 3 squads of Wardens. The list was finished with 2 Gladius Graph Tanks, some Prosecutors, 2 Witch Seekers, and Inquisitor Draxters was allied in. I'm a little surprised that Custodies won, considering they're not one of the most competitive factions at the moment, which shows how impressive the win is. It also shows that nearly any faction can do well in the hands of a very talented player. The Necrons come next with 10 wins, 37 top 3s, and a weight base of 21.8, which is nearly double the 11 they got last week. The remaining factions in blue will get 8 wins, being ranked by the number of top 3 placings. The Orcs get 29 top 3s and a weight base of 16.3. The Death Guard and Tyranids both get 25 top 3s, with weighted bases of 17.1 and 20.6 respectively. Chaos Space Marines and the Gene Stealers both get 19 top 3s. Chaos Space Marines get a weight base of 19.5, with the Gene Stealers getting 9.9, which is the second best this week. The Eldari top the Green Group with 6 wins, 25 top 3s, and a weight base of 19. The World Eaters also get 6 wins, with 17 top 3s, and a weighted base of 18.3. Imperial Knights and Sisters both get 5 wins, with weighted placings of 23.8 and 18.4. All of the remaining factions in green get 4 wins, with Demons getting 20 top 3s and a weighted base of 28.8. Chaos Knights get 15 top 3s, with a weighted base of 24. The Thousand Suns managed to pick up 11 top 3s and a weighted base of 18.8. The Drukhari are the last known faction in green, with 8 top 3s and a weighted base of 14.5. There are only 3 factions in yellow this week, with all of them picking up 1 or 2 wins. The Imperial Agents actually managed to get a win at the smaller tournaments this week, which gives them a weighted placing of 12, which is actually the 3rd best. We do see a lot of factions picking up wins this week, which isn't too surprising given the huge number of tournaments we have seen. 23 factions managed at least 1 top 10 placing, with the Space Marines getting the most top 10s with 255. Necrons were in second with 97 top 10 placings. Tyranids are in third on 90 top 10 placings. The Space Marines are the most played faction with 19.3% of all players taking them. Necrons are the second most popular on 6.86%. Tyranids are in third on 6.6%. The Tyranids have surprisingly managed to push Guard into 4th place this week, after they spent nearly the last month in the top 3.
It takes our resident stats guru and Ultramarine fanboy Fearless Fox many hours to collect all the data. It would be great if you could show your appreciation by liking and sharing the video. It really helps us with the God algorithm of YouTube. We have grouped the win rates by colour, with the key at the bottom of the screen.
For another week, the Gene Stealers topped the charts with a very impressive win rate of 57.1%. After spending nearly all weeks at the top of the charts since the update, I think we can safely say they are one of the top factions at the moment, and potentially the most improved by the update. Another faction which is performing very well is the Astra Militarum, who are also above the Goldilocks zone this week with a win rate of 55.2%. Like the Gene Stealer cults, they have been right at the top of the win rates for a number of weeks. Chaos Knights are the first faction within the Goldilocks zone, with a win rate of 53.7%, which is a decent improvement on the 50.4% they got last week. Chaos Demons have been performing well, and they get another good result with a win rate of 52.3%. The Death Guard are close behind with a win rate of 51.8%. They have been consistently around this level since the update. The World Eaters just managed to get in green with a win rate of 50.1%. The Thousand Suns top the other group with a win rate of 49.7%, which is a slight decrease for them. The Leads of Votan have a win rate of 49%, followed by Imperial Knights on 48.6%. The Eldari and Necrons have come next, both with a win rate of 48%. The Custodies have a win rate of 47.5%, despite winning the Warhammer World Championships, which again emphasises how impressive that victory was. The Space Marines overall get a win rate of 47.4%, with the Tau on 46.6%. The Tyranids are very close behind on 46.5%, with Chaos Space Marines on 46.3%. Orcs are on 46.1%, with Sisters just getting in the Goldilocks zone, with a win rate of 45.4%. We have 4 factions below the zone, with the Grey Knights on 44.1%, the Admech on 43.1%, and the Drukhari on 42.6%. Imperial Knights have a win rate of 35.4%, despite actually picking up a win at the small tournaments this week. The Genius Dealer Cults are way out in front on the running total win rates with 56%, making them the only faction above the Goldilocks zone. Guard are in second place with 52.6%, with Chaos Demons and Death Guard both on 51.5%. The vast majority of factions are in yellow, with all the major factions within the Goldilocks zone. The only faction below is the Imperial Agents, which isn't too surprising considering they've struggled greatly as a standalone army. The gamers look relatively well balanced other than some notably strong armies. We know that there'll be further balance updates coming in December, as well as a load of new detachments, including an index for the Death Watch, which will surely shake up the meta yet again. Speaking of Space Marine chapters, let's take a look at the weekly breakdown. This week the Blood Angels topped the charts with a win rate of 50.6%. The supplement seems to be one of the most balanced books they've released in 10th, which is great to see, especially as I am a Blood Angels collector. The Space Wolves continue to do well with a win rate of 50.3%. The Black Templars are the first chapter in yellow, with a win rate of 49.8%, which is a significant improvement compared to the previous weeks. The Dark Angels are the last chapter in the Goldilocks zone, with a win rate of 48.2%. As always, the Unknown Codex chapters are struggling with a win rate of 40%. The single Deathwatch player, I am sure, is eagerly awaiting their upcoming index. In terms of placings, the Dark Angels get the most wins with 7, while the Blood Angels get the most top 10s with 76. This is not too surprising, as they were the most popular chapter this week. They do only manage 3 wins, however, with both the Space Wolves and Black Templars getting 4. The issues with Space Marines have been well documented now, with the Codex chapters in need of some help, despite some competitive Ultramarines lists doing well. The Space Marine running totals have the Space Wolves at the top with a win rate of 50.2%. The Blood Angels are close behind on 49.3%, with the Dark Angels on 47.4%. The Black Templars have managed to get in the Goldilocks zone with a win rate of 45.2%. Unsurprisingly, the Codex chapters are at the bottom with a win rate of 42.6%. Chaos Space Marines get a total win rate of 45.8%, with the Emperor's Children managing a 46.7% win rate from their 39 players. We continue to see teasers regarding the Emperor's Children supplement, with some more renders shared this week.
If you enjoyed our content, please subscribe, check out one of the videos on screen, and consider using our affiliate links in the description. Thank you for watching.